this post might not look too conspicuous, but when I explain what's going on here, you'll understand why I included this post. So, last episode, I issued a challenge to industrial leaders that told them they have budgets to make a pillar piece of content to repurpose, but they're wasting it. They're wasting that budget on low impact initiatives like trade shows. So I really wanted to highlight this post because Brant is a perfect example of doing an amazing job with what little resources you have. Brant is the CEO of Agile Automation. It's an industrial automation solution provider and service company. Their employee count fits on a single hand. However, that hasn't stopped Brant from doing the right thing. He called his president, invited him on a call, told his fellow industrial automation owner, and it's like, hey, let's talk shop once a week and record it. And if you've been following him, most conversations include something they are showing on the screen, but it's never a 20-minute presentation. It's usually a visual aid to help the conversation. And recently, Brant started inviting other industrial automation experts in the industry and sharing their expertise on this on his new platform. And he's raising the whole industry and educating his customers in the process. And he's been very diligent in posting clips of these conversations. And I have to say, the engagement is amazing. This post has 33 comments and 14 reposts. There are 14 people that have found this clip so good, including me, that reshared it to their feed, to their feed. So, like, if Brant can do it, what is stopping companies that are better resourced than Brant from doing this? I have an idea. I'd love to hear your take. Look at him. Like, he's doing great.
I know. And the engagement, like we talked about it last time, like you can't buy. It's so hard to buy this level of engagement.
Yeah.
Like 33 comments, 14 reposts. And that's what I think is hard to understand. There's so many different ways to benefit from.
And I would like to highlight the comments because the comments are not just fluff comments like great post, minus mine, of course. Like, this is direct subject matter expertise questions. Like, people are discussing and learning from this content. They're asking about his process. These awfully sound like sales conversations, don't you think?
Definitely.
What type of signals are being input? Like, these are questions that potential customers are asking you or are looking for in a website, or picking up the phone and or sending you an email saying like, hey, what do you do this? Do you do that? See, great, Brant. What happened when no PLC? Like, more questions lead to more content, lead to more questions to more content. And now you're not only generating engagement, but you're generating content that can be cleaned up and packaged into written content that guides your customers. Now you have content for search. Now you have content for newsletters. Now you have content for so on and so forth. All he has to do is sit down once a week, record for an hour, and then send the footage to an editor. Everyone knows that you go on Upwork and Fiverr and you can find somebody to cut up your clips for really affordable. But I digress.
Again, running out of excuses not to be doing this stuff. People are on LinkedIn. If you put up valuable content, it might not happen immediately, but it doesn't take much. one or two people start to engage, you know, if you are doing valuable stuff, you know, it's not hard because people are on LinkedIn to learn and to network, and they're not afraid to engage with posts. As soon as they do, they raise their hand and say, "Hey, I'm open to a conversation here." Like that's why I'm engaging with your post. So engage me.
And not just engaging, they're posting poignant questions that usually lead to a more serious conversation in background. That leads to
Exactly.
sale.
I'm
That
sure
leads to
some of
revenue.
these, yeah, I'm sure some of these went, you know, offline or
Okay.
into DMs, right? And as a, you know, the person running the video or the SMEs, um, you know, and there's always a balance to strike. But, you know, from the same angle of I want to provide value to the audience. Like if you're not following up, if you're not replying to the comments, if you're not, you know, trying to further the conversation to make sure all their questions are answered, right? Then you're leaving some stuff on the table, and that's, you know, a big part of the value. Like if you could recreate this activity at a trade show, you'd do it in a second. It's just a different medium, different format, and by the way, much harder to do at a trade show.
And you get the pay for the privilege of potentially having a keynote piece.
Right. Yeah. You know, this is where it's like at a trade show, and I've thankfully I haven't paid this much, but in some industries, you know, for a 45-minute speaking slot at um, you know, at a trade show, it could be $15,000 just to be able to, and then they don't even record it, right? And then there's like 20 people
You're not allowed to record it.
in some cases, yeah. And then there's like 20 people in the audience. You're putting this on LinkedIn, and we've shown how easy it can be to get impressions. Like you get over, yeah. Maybe we're going to talk about this every week. I don't know, but it's just like that's the
Until it
stuff that's
sticks,
holding
we're going
people
to keep
back,
hammering it home.
right?
Yeah.
No, it's just start making the content.